Hello, I'm Steve. The following videos were recorded several days ago with the intention to upload them on Christmas Eve. Due to technical difficulties beyond our control, possibly Torchwood Decepticons, but I suspect the Daleks kept that from happening. My initial thought with Christmas behind us was not to upload these videos at all, or at least to wait until next year. But many of these questions are still being asked and need to be answered. And so, although someone is obviously trying to keep them under wraps, I've decided to release them now. I feel it's my duty to share them now, before another day goes by. Hopefully late will, indeed, prove to be better than never. I've split the original video into 3 parts, both to make it more watchable and to prevent any further efforts to thwart its accessibility. Part 1 tells the story about how I learned the truth about Santa Claus and how I finally learned that I had been mistaken. You don't have to watch all 3 parts and you don't have to watch all of any of them. But each time you like and share a video, you tell the Daleks that we're fighting back, that they can never exterminate the truth. And every time you subscribe, well, at least you help to make my holidays a little brighter. So here you go, and I hope you enjoy Truth and Santa Claus. It's Christmas Eve, and yes, I'm wearing a tie. I'm wearing a tie because what I have to say today is important, serious and important. And yes, it's going to take more than 4 minutes, but that's okay because this is an educational vlog. So back off, you punishment mongers. It's Christmas Eve, and I've decided it's about time to share some of the truth that I've been carrying for some time now. About someone that's been on a lot of people's minds recently. It's time to talk about Santa Claus. There are debates and conversations going on right now between friends, between husbands and wives, parents and children, and even within individuals who can't make up their own minds about what to believe. Yeah, that's right, I see you out there wondering all about the question, do you believe? Do we tell the kids what we believe? Is it better for kids to grow up living in a world of fantasy or to grow up with a clear grasp on this thing that we call reality? I'm here to offer some answers. Because doubt is a serious source of world suck, my friend, and I'm here to spread the awesome. I should start out by telling my own story. I've been where you are today, questioning, wondering, worrying, doubting. I can remember painfully well the moment it happened. I was a boy growing up in the suburbs of Detroit without a care or concern in the world. And I can't say exactly what I was doing there, lying on the floor in my parents' bedroom, looking under the bed, but I remember what I saw, a Barrel of Monkeys game. It didn't belong there. We didn't keep games under the bed, not in my parents' bedroom. And what's worse, we didn't even own Barrel of Monkeys. And there looked to be more toys hidden under the bed. But I don't know for sure because I turned away as quickly as I could. I didn't want to know, but I was pretty sure I knew what it meant. Our presents weren't coming in from the North Pole. They weren't being delivered by flying reindeer. They weren't wrapped up by elves, and they weren't put underneath a tree by a big guy in a red suit. I wouldn't say it. I clung desperately to the hope that maybe there was a chance that I was wrong, even though all the available evidence seemed to make it obvious. Kids can find this sort of evidence anywhere. I didn't have to find toys under the bed. Some kids noticed that Santa uses the same gift wrap that mom and dad used to wrap up the presents for grandma. Well, guess what? Santa has all the wraps. Some kids notice the handwriting on the tags and notice that it matches mom or dad's. Every high schooler in the country knows how to forge mom and dad's signature on a tardy pass to get into school late, yet we somehow think this is a skill that would elude a man who can manage to get a herd of flying reindeer to pull him around the world in one night. Some of you may live with a shelf elf, and you may have actually caught the parental units sometimes moving the elf. Well, duh. When you're a parent and you have a house of your own, you'll want to exercise a little control as well. You can try to hide it from the kids, but you have to keep moving those elves away from the kitchen. Let them breach those defenses, and it is goodbye Christmas dinner, goodbye Santa's cookies, and especially forget about any cold cereal, because man, those elves love them some cold cereal. Truth is, we can always find a reason to stop believing, because believing is so much harder than giving in to cynicism. For me, it was a game of Barrel of Monkeys. And that's not even a good game. A few years later, my family had left the suburbs and moved to the North Woods. And when I started to take my part helping to play Santa for my younger sisters, I couldn't have been happier. I thrilled in creating the illusion, hiding gifts ingeniously, never any place as obvious as under the bed, wrapping them in secret, sneaking them silently under the tree after the girls had gone to sleep. I enjoyed it so much that I convinced myself that they still believed several years after they had actually given up believing themselves. I was so sure of myself. I knew the truth. I was confident. I was an adult. But then a strange thing happened. I had left home and moved out to live on my own. I had adventures. I started a business. Things were going great sometimes, but other times things weren't so great. Years came along when money got tight. I didn't have any extra for gifts and presents at Christmas, and yet somehow Christmas still came, and somehow so did the gifts. I began to wonder again, and finally I realized I had been wrong. Not wrong as a child, but wrong as an adult. And once I understood that, everything became solid again. And what happened next? Well, that I really can't say. I'm not going to tell you that the big guy began to stop by late at night on occasion after the girls had gone to sleep. Let an idea like that get out and I'll be stuck with reporters from People magazine on the porch and paparazzi sitting out on the fence all night long. and I am not going through that again. Thanks for watching part 1 of Truth in Santa Claus. In part 2, we'll look at how parents get misled by their own subconscious minds, leading to a lot of misunderstanding and confusion on everyone's part. There's a lot of sophisticated psychology and politics involved, so you might want to take notes.